Good morning. I am Hart and Edoloverio from the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Science, Trade B, Cebu Technological University, main campus. Okay. Good morning, students. Mm-hmm. I'd like to call the presence of Mario Barrett as he is the assigned prayer leader for today's class. Thank you, Mario. Now, please prepare yourselves as I will be calling your names for the attendance. Everyone, please observe and obey the virtual class etiquette so that we will have a harmonious class for today. The virtual class etiquette are presented in your screen right now. So number one is to ensure that your internet connection is stable. Two is to test your microphone, camera, and audio settings to prevent disruptions. Third is to keep your microphone muted during the class to minimize background noise. Unmute only or when it's your turn to speak or when asked by your instructor. Next is to dress appropriately and do not wear sandals and other revealing clothes. Fifth is to use the chat feature for relevant questions or comments and avoid off-topic discussions. Next is to use the raise hand function if you want to speak or ask a question and wait for the teacher's cue to proceed. And lastly, participate, participate, participate. Okay, everyone, are you guys ready for today's discussion? Okay, so before we begin the lesson proper, we will have a short virtual game first. So this game is entitled Common 4. The objective of this game is to develop critical thinking and teamwork by identifying the common word that connects four related images and it encourages quick reasoning and collaboration among you students. So here are the game mechanics. The class is divided into two groups. Four images will be displayed on the screen. So any member from either group can guess the word by raising or clicking the virtual hand first. The teacher will call on the first student to raise their hand to give an answer. A correct answer earns 1 point for the student's group. If the answer is incorrect, the teacher will allow another student from either group who raises their hand to try. The game consists of 4 rounds, and the group with the most number of points wins the game. Okay, so are you ready? Please give a virtual reaction if you are ready. Okay, that's right. Let us start. Round 1. Okay, the first to click the raise hand button is Mario. Okay, Mario, what is your answer? Kingdom. Okay, let us see if it's kingdom. Okay, that's right. The answer is kingdom. Let us proceed to the next round. Okay, Carla, what is your answer? Mm-hmm. Fruit. Let us see if it's correct. Yes, that's right. The answer is fruit or fruits. Very good. What about the third round? Okay, Dennis, what is your answer? Firefly. Firefly, let us see if it's correct. No, it's not correct. It means other students can have the opportunity to guess the answer for this round. Okay, Ari, your answer is insect or insects. Let us see if it's correct. That is right. The answer is insect or insects. Very good. And the last round. Mm-hmm. Madonna. Okay, your answer is photosynthesis. Okay, photosynthesis. Let us see if it's correct. That's right. So the answer is photosynthesis. So What's the tally of the score? Okay, so the group one wins. So congratulations to the group of Mario. Okay, let us proceed to the next slide. So based from those words or terms, what can you infer from those words? What can you infer from the activity that we've done? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's right. Okay, we will know on the next slide. So again, good morning once again, everyone. Today we will be exploring the different levels of biological organization. So in this lesson, you will be able to understand and explain the different levels of biological organization. Next is to create a personalized method of classifying an organism. And lastly, cultivate a positive attitude towards the different levels of biological organization and recognize its importance in understanding biological relationships. Okay, am I still audible? Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, class, have you wondered how tiny cells work together to form something as a complex as a human being or an ecosystem? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think you're wondering already how these things happen and originate. Okay, so with that, let us begin by defining such terms that we will be bringing throughout this discussion or throughout this journey. The first term is the biological organization. So, what is biological organization? Biological organization refers to the hierarchy and arrangement of living organisms and their components from the simplest level to the most complex. So it is the study of how living organisms are structured and how these structures work together to support life. The levels of biological organization describe the hierarchy of living systems from basic building blocks of atoms to the complexity of the biosphere, showing how structures and systems work together to support life. This organizational structure allows for the emergence of new properties and functions at each level that do not exist at lower levels. Biological organization is important in understanding how living organisms function, grow, reproduce, and interact with each other into their environment. Okay? So, what is the importance of biological organization? Understanding biological organization is essential for addressing global challenges, and it explains life structure from molecules to ecosystems, driving advancements in medical science, biotechnology, environmental conservation, and other fields of science. Okay, okay, are you still there? Okay, that's right. So now we will proceed to the next slide. As you can see on your screen right now, is a diagram that showcases the hierarchy of life. So there's here an atom, a molecule, tissue, to organ system, to organism, to population, to community, to ecosystem, and biosphere. So this is the hierarchy of life. So let us know how do these things work or made up. So it starts here from the smallest unit, which we called as, that's right, we called it atom, which is the fundamental blocks of matter. These atoms combine to form molecules, which are the chemical compounds that is essential for life. So these molecules make up into cells that carry out the basic functions of life. Cells then form into tissues, and tissues form into organs, and organs form into organ system or body systems that works together to perform a vital function. So these things function into one single unit of entity, which is us, the organism. Beyond this, it continues to population level, to community. to ecosystem, and lastly, the biosphere, which encompasses the global sum of all ecosystems, representing the entire planet's living and non-living systems. Okay, everyone, do you now understand the hierarchy of life? Mhm. Thank you for your responses. Now we will go through the history of how biological organization was formed. Let us know the person behind this taxonomy and how he contributed to the field of biology. Okay, as you can see on your screen right now is a picture of the great Carl Linnaeus. He is a Swedish botanist, physician, and zoologist, and is best known for developing the binomial nomenclature system, which I will discuss later on, and for the hierarchical classification system for organizing living organisms. hmm Basically, Carlinho was revolutionized biological organization by creating a standardized taxonomy system and establishing a structured framework to classify and study the diversity of life systematically. Okay, here, what are the different classifications of organisms? Do you have an idea about this? Anyone from the class? Okay, okay, let us see if those answers are correct. Okay, so here are the eight biological classification of organisms: the domain, the kingdom, the phylum, the class, the order, the family, genus, and species. So, again, class, please read it aloud. Okay, thank you. So, before we delve into the definition of each level, I'd like you to remember this mnemonic first. This might be helpful for you in times you forget the arrangement of the biological levels of classification. So here it is. Dear King Philip came over for good spaghetti. Okay? D is for domain, K is for kingdom, P is for phylum, C is for class, O is for order, F is for family, G is for genus, and S is for species. That's right. Okay, so let us know what domain is. Okay, domain is the highest and the broadest level of classification in the biological taxonomy system. It is a category used to group organisms based on fundamental differences in their cellular structure and genetic makeup. So there are three recognized domains in biology, and these are the archaea, bacteria, and the eukarya. Okay, so what is archaea? Archaea organisms in this domain are single-celled microorganisms. Archaea often live in extreme environments such as hot springs or salty lakes. They are prokaryotic. It means wala sila'y nucleus, but some have genetic and biochemical similarities to eukaryotes. Bacteria, on the other hand, are prokaryotic organisms and are single-celled. They are found everywhere from soil and water to inside other living organisms. Bacteria are incredibly diverse and they play a crucial role in processes like nitrogen fixation, decomposition, and digestion. Lastly is the eukarya. Organisms in this domain are eukaryotic, meaning their cells have a defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. This domain includes a wide variety of organisms from plants, animals, fungi, and protists. Eukaryotic organisms are often multicellular, but there are some unicellular eukaryotes like the protozoa. So, what are again the three domains? Archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. That is right. So now let us proceed to the next classification level, which is the kingdom. Kingdom is the second highest level of classification in the biological taxonomy system, coming just below the domain. It groups organisms that share fundamental characteristics and structural features. Kingdom was historically considered as the highest level of biological organization because early classification systems, like those of Linnaeus, recognized only a few broad categories like Animalia and Plantae to group all living organisms. That is why you will see again the classification of bacteria and the archaea in here. Then a concept of domains emerged later on, reflecting deeper evolutionary distinctions at the cellular and genetic levels. So currently, there are six kingdoms according to biologists, and these kingdoms are Animalia, Archaea, Bacteria, Fungi, Plantae, and Protista. Let us begin with the kingdom of Animalia. Animalia. So they are multicellular, heterotrophic organisms that are usually mobile and have complex nervous systems. Archaea, on the other hand, are single-celled prokaryotic organisms that often live in extreme environments and have unique biochemical properties. Next is bacteria. Bacteria are again single-celled, prokaryotic organisms found in nearly every environment, playing essential roles in processes like decomposition and nitrogen fixation. Next kingdom is fungi. It is mostly multicellular and heterotrophic organisms that absorb nutrients from decaying matter and it play roles in decomposition. Another kingdom is the plantae. It is a multicellular, autotrophic organisms that produce their own food through the process of what we call as the photosynthesis and have cell walls made of cellulose. Protista is a kingdom of a diverse group of mostly unicellular organisms. Some are autotrophic and some can be heterotrophic that may resemble plants and animals and or fungi. So here are the examples of each kingdom: the tiger, the halobacterium, the streptococcus, mushroom is under fungi, the oak tree, and the amoeba. Okay, okay. Now let us proceed to the next classification level, which we call as the phylum. Phylum. Phylum is a major taxonomic rank in biological classification, positioned below kingdom and above class in the hierarchy. It groups organisms that is based on shared structural and functional characteristics, typically reflecting a common evolutionary ancestor. Phyla are crucial in understanding the diversity and evolutionary relationships among organisms, as they highlight significant body plan differences such as the presence of a backbone in chordates. Okay, some examples of phyla are Chordata, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Bryophyta, Angiosperms, Ascomycota, Basidiomycota, and etc. Okay, now let us further define each classification level. But I will just mention a few of their examples, for in these levels there's already a plethora of their subdivisions. Okay, so next is class. A class groups organisms within a phylum based on more specific shared features. It is more specific than phylum but broader than order. So example in the phylum Chordata, the class Mammalia includes all animals or mammals characterized by features like hair and mammary glands. Next is order. An order groups organisms within a class based on similarities in their body structure and behavior. It is more specific than class but broader than family. Examples include Mammalia. So the order Carnivora includes animals like lions and bears, which are adapted to eating meat. Next classification level is the family. A family groups closely related of organisms or organisms within an order. Families contain several genera, plural of genus, that share key traits. Example, in the order Carnivora, the family Felidae includes cats, and it includes lions, tigers, and domestic cats. Next is the genus. Genus is a group of closely related species that share common characteristics. It is more specific than family, but broader than species. Example, the genus Panthera includes large cats like lions, or the scientific name of lion is the Panthera leo, and tigers or the Panthera tigres. The last and the lowest level in the classification of biological organization is the species. A species is the most specific level of classification and consists of organisms that can interbreed and produce fertile offspring. Example, Homo sapiens is the species name for humans, distinct from other species in the genus Homo, like Homo neanderthalensis or the Neanderthals. So further examples are presented in your screen right now. So for example, again, the human. So the domain is Eukarya, the kingdom is Animalia, the phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primates, family Hominidae, genus Homo, and species Sapiens. Next is Mango, domain Eukarya, kingdom Plantae, phylum Angiosperms, class Eudicots, order Sapindales, family Anacardiaceae, genus Mangifera, and species Mangifera indica. Next is the Waling-Waling. Domain Eukarya, kingdom Plantae, phylum Angiosperms, class Monocots, order Asparagales, family Orchidaceae, genus Vanda, species Vanda sanderiana. Okay, a student from the class would like to volunteer to read the level of classification of the animal horse. Okay, thank you so much. Another one. Okay, that's right. Thank you. Now, further examples are the halophil, which is under the kingdom or the domain of Archaea, the kingdom Archaebacteria, the phylum Urea Chaeota, class the Halobacteria, order Halobacteriales, family Halobacteriaceae, and genus is Halobacterium, and the species name is the Halobacterium salinarum. Next is the chimpanzee. The domain is Eukarya, the kingdom is Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primates, family Hominidae, genus Pan, species Pan troglodytes. I'm sorry. Next is the E. coli. The domain is bacteria. The kingdom is Eubacteria. The phylum is the Proteobacteria. Class Gamma Proteobacteria. Order Enterobacteriales. Family Enterobacteriaceae. The genus Escherichia and the species Escherichia coli. And the last example here is the amoeba. Domain Eukarya. Kingdom Protista. Phylum Amoeba Bozoa, class Tobolinia, order Amebida, family Amebidae, genus Ameba, and the species name is the Ameba proteus. So these are only few of the numerous organisms that are living in the planet of Earth. So I will ask two students to name an organism and its biological organization. Okay. Anyone who would like to volunteer? Okay, thank you so much. Um, what's your name again? Okay. Shira and May. Okay, thank you so much. Next is that. Have you ever wondered how scientists around the world are able to communicate about the thousands of the various species of organisms without confusion? Have you ever thought of that? Okay, today or now, we will discuss the topic of binomial nomenclature. Again, binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature is the formal system of naming species where each species is assigned a two-part Latin name. The first part represents the genus and the second part represents the specific species within that genus. This system helps in identifying and classifying organisms globally, ensuring there's a consistency and accuracy across different regions and languages. Okay, so a brief history about binomial nomenclature. So binomial nomenclature was introduced again by the Swedish naturalist Carl Linnaeus in the 18th century as part of his broader work in classifying living organisms. In the year of 1753, Carl Linnaeus published Species Plantarum, so a landmark work that formalized the system of giving each species a two-part Latin name. The first part is the genus, groups similar organisms, while the second part, the species, distinguished individual organisms within that genus. Everyone understood? Okay, let's proceed. So, what is the structure and the rules and conventions about binomial nomenclature? Let us start first with the structure. 1. The genus name. The first part of the name is the genus, and it is always capitalized. Next is the species name. The second part is the species name, and it is always lowercase. So, for example, here, a lion scientific name is Panthera leo. Panthera is the genus, and leo is the species. Combined together, the scientific name of lion is Panthera leo. Another one is the scientific name of human. So, Homo sapiens. The genus here is the Homo, and the species is the sapiens, and that is the Homo sapiens. So, the rules and conventions. So, the genus is always capitalized. I'm talking about the first letter of the word, and the species is not. So, both words are italicized or underlined when it is done handwrittenly. Next is binomial nomenclature ensures that organisms have universally one accepted name so that it will prevent the people to have confusion across languages and regions. So some further examples of animals under in their respective kingdoms are the following. So for kingdom Animalia, we have here the blue whale or the Balaenoptera musculus, the honeybee, the Apis mellifera. For kingdom Plantae, we have here the fern. So Pteridium aquilinum. So rose is Rosa spp. For kingdom fungi, we have here Penicillium or the Penicillium notatum. For molds, it is the scientific name of molds is Aspergillus niger. For kingdom Protista, we have here Plasmodium or the Plasmodium falciparum. Euglena gracilis. For kingdom bacteria, we have here Bacillus anthracis and the cyanobacteria, the Anabaena spp. And lastly, under the kingdom of Archaea, is the Methanobacterium formicicum and the Sulfolobos sulfataricus. So these are a few of the examples of the organisms in their respective kingdoms and their binomial nomenclature. So with that, everyone, are you still guys okay? Mm-hmm. Is everything well understood? If so, I'd like to hear two students to name these organisms in binomial nomenclature. The first one is zebra. Okay? The first one to raise hand in here is Sharpei. Okay, Sharpei? That is right. What about the second one? Donkey. Okay, the first one to raise hand in here is Ryan. Okay, Ryan. Okay, Ryan, what's your answer? Okay, that's right. It's Icos. Mm-hmm. Asinos, that's right. So with that, that ends our discussion for today. But before I end the class, students, I want you to give your responses in the chat box to this questions. The first one is that what is or are the importance of flying organisms? Um, you may write your answer in the chat box. And the second one is that what are again the 8 classification levels of organisms? Everyone say it aloud. Mhm. That is right. The kingdom, the phylum. What's next to phylum? Or I mean, the domain, the kingdom, the phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. That is right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So before we enter class, I have here prepared a brief activity. So this activity can be done within 5 minutes or even less. So same grouping as our motivational activity, and I want you to create a diagram showcasing the biological classification of your chosen organism. You can select any organism you like um, as long as the information that you provide is factually correct, and also make it creative. So is it as it is part of a points. So next is that there's 2 groups, right? That's right. So the first group, the leader will be Troy Bolton, and the second, the group 2, you will be the leader, Miss Gabriela Montes. Okay, so you'll be the assigned respective leaders for your respective groups. So once you're done, you assign someone from the group and explain your output. So you will be critiqued according to the rubric. So content knowledge 10 points, presentation 8 points, creativity 8 points, and team effort 4 points. Okay, the 5 minutes starts now. Okay, thank you, very good everyone, nice output. So before we end, again our class, I would like to remind you that I will be sending a Google form later for this lessons quiz. So it's just a 10 item quiz and do not forget it. So that's it. Oh, I mean, there's an assignment yet. So the assignment is very simple. You just have to create a mnemonic for biological organizations. You will be tasked to create a mnemonic to help you remember the levels of biological organization according to your preference, starting from domain and going down to species. Your mnemonic should incorporate the first letter of each level. Domain, kingdom. D for domain, K for kingdom, P for phylum, C for class, O for order, F for family, G for genus, and S for species. And do not forget to be creative and make your mnemonic memorable. Okay? That is right. Mm-hmm. Okay, everyone, are you still there? That's right. So that ends our discussion for today. So thank you for listening, and I hope you guys learned something from me and to our discussion. So goodbye, class, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.